There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good morning, students. I am Vixie, the Automated Recruitment Assistant of VXI, and I am here to answer your questions about our company. Hi, I have a question. Does VXI accept fresh graduates? Definitely. We accept fresh graduates, and you can apply via walk-in process at all our recruitment hubs. Jumpstart your career with us here at VXI. Is it really true that it is a one-day processing before you get hired? Absolutely. Here at VXI, you can get hired within the same day. Perks, benefits, and a great working environment await you here. We have decided that all of us will be applying tomorrow at VXI. See you there, Vixie!
Intelligence is the foundation of any good business. But if every good business has it, how do you stand out? Intuition. When enabled by technology, intuition stops feeling like a hunch and starts looking like confidence. The confidence you get when you work with Cognizant, where we engineer every aspect of your business, technology, processes, and experiences to anticipate expectations and act instantly. This is intuition, and we can engineer it.
At a time when customers are demanding more value more rapidly, you need a transformation partner that can help make your customer experience your competitive differentiator. For years, RRD Go has been helping companies reinvent how they do business and reimagine how customers connect with their brand. Our customized solutions, deep industry expertise, and highly skilled global talent pool empower clients across every industry. We elevate customer engagement with targeted, interactive, and compelling omni-channel communications, and leverage tech-driven solutions to reimagine customer interactions and accelerate your transformation agenda. Our digital and workflow solutions generate actionable insights, enhance organizational flexibility, and simplify transactions. We harness the power of next-level technologies to bring new solutions to life Everything from automation and data visualization to AI, AR, and beyond. By combining best-in-class, forward-looking technologies with some of the industry's best forward-thinking minds, we can help take your customer experience beyond what you thought was possible. Discover how. Visit rrd.com/go today.
In Makati Medical Center, your well-being does not stop. We promote a healthy normal by complying with 100% safety protocols in our facilities. With world-class service and operational excellence, we ensure that Makati Med meets the global healthcare standards of JCI. No matter the nature of your visit, your health is our priority. So you are always safe in Makati Med, the hospital with a heart.
I felt that my work before didn't give me the continuous learning and career growth I was looking for. Hi, I'm Isa. I am the Clinical Training and Quality Lead for Care Innovation Operations. I am also a nurse by profession, licensed in the state of New York.
Hi, I'm Rosro. I was a Philippine registered nurse when I joined Accenture. I signed up for the USRN Build program where I was able to get my US nursing license. I now handle a group of USRNs for a US health insurance client.
Hi, I'm Rosh. I'm a service delivery lead in health and a global process owner for provider operations, leading a team across Manila, Ilocos, and Chennai.
I felt that my work before didn't give me the continuous learning and career growth I was looking for. So, I joined Accenture as a US registered nurse. Now, I am a clinical training and quality manager. As a nurse, we review patients' medical records to make sure that services are medically necessary.
Our team caters to North America's leading healthcare payers, providers like doctors and nurses, and non-traditional health organizations. We help our clients meet the essential expectations that every person has of the healthcare system: access, experience, and outcomes. We have a strong learning and development capability for our talents. The opportunity to learn and develop new skills is not limited to your specific function or role.
I've learned different skills in leadership, business acumen, technology like robotic process automations, and artificial intelligence, which gave me the advantage in managing the various clinical teams for delivery and quality.
The USRN Build program is an Accenture initiative wherein the company provides opportunities for Philippine registered nurses to become US registered nurses. Accenture shoulders all of the expenses starting from the review center, processing of all of your documents on your behalf, and all the way down to taking the USRN licensure exam. All you have to do is just focus on the review and pass the test.
As a first-time mom of a 1-year-old boy, Accenture gave me the opportunity to work with flexibility, which allows me to spend more time with my son, while at the same time, feel more connected with my team all over the world.
Future Ready is being able to get ahead of the curve. For the last 17 years, I have seen the healthcare industry continue to evolve and adapt to change. The pandemic has accelerated the shift to digital, opening the untapped potential in deploying AI and robotic process automation, all with a goal to be future ready. With Accenture as their partner, our insights and value-driven culture will help our clients deliver their promise of care to their customers.
Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me. We are live at St. Paul University, Manila. This program is to help you guys be prepared for what is ahead. We will have presenters from Jobs180.com, Ernst & Young Philippines, Makati Medical Center, and VXI. So stay tuned to learn more about what to expect in the world beyond college. For now, let's bring ourselves into this presence of a God for our opening prayer and the singing of the national anthem.
Let us now pray the Pauline prayer. God, our loving Father, you called us to participate in your saving mission and to make you known and loved throughout the world. We thank you for our Pauline identity that inspires us to be like Christ and to walk in the truth. Help us to stand firm in our daily struggle to live our Christocentric Paschal spirituality. Forgive our failures to witness to your compassionate love and to surrender to your holy will. Grant us the grace to grow in your love for the good of the Church and the service of neighbor, and to remain faithful to you through your Son, Jesus Christ, in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen. Mary, our Mother and Model, pray for us. Saint Paul, our patron, pray for us. Father Louis Chevet and the First Sisters, intercede for us. May the love of Christ impel us, now and forever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good morning, Paulinians.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisingil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bukaw, may dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Luha ng araw ng buwan at ipagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng pagmay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Now that our program has officially started, for our opening remarks, I'd like to introduce you guys to the head of the Guidance and Counseling and Placement Services, Mr. AJ Piagoho, a registered guidance and counselor, and he is currently serving as the head of the Guidance and Counseling and Placement Services. Sir, AJ, kindly, right, can we check if your video and mics are working?
Hello, Sir Oliver. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. So everything is good, sir. You can now take the stage for your opening remarks.
Thank you. A pleasant afternoon, everyone. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to everyone who helped us make this webinar come together to become a success, especially to our industry partner, Jobs 180. Thank you so much for your continued support and for providing learning opportunities to our students. We could not have done it without you. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this webinar where participants are expected to be more knowledgeable in the following topics. Top skills employers look for when hiring, problem solving and decision making, identifying cause of problems and implementing solutions, and assertive communication. May this webinar serve as an opportunity for all of us to learn new perspective and knowledge in facing the different challenges today. Again, welcome and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful opening remarks. And it really is a pleasure to be with you here today as well. And of course, our students, of course, in this program will be more knowledgeable as we have guest speakers from different industries. And of course, we will be learning new perspectives in facing the challenges of what is ahead. So welcome again to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me. Handa na ba kayo, guys? Give this video a thumbs up for us to know if you are ready. And again, my name is Oliver and I'll be your host for today. Just a reminder, I'd like to give this reminders for our audience. We'd like to know where you are from. So please put in your course and name in the comment section below. Attendance and evaluation will be released at the end of this webinar. If wala pa ang friends nyo right now, please tag them so that we won't be missing out on this event today. Of course, as well, we have a recording of this video. It will be posted on our YouTube and Facebook channels. So you can please visit us in those channels and make sure to like and, of course, share the page to your friends. So if ever you feel that you want to go back to this talk or your connection fluctuates and you miss the event, you can still rewatch this session on YouTube and our Facebook pages. Also, I'd like to recognize the presence of Miss Maria Cecilia G. Antonio, one of our partners in the guidance counseling team. So for our schedule today, here is what we have. Jobs180.com will be talking about the job applications using the resume link. Ernst & Young will be talking about the top skills employers look for when hiring, and that is pretty interesting. Makati Medical Center will be discussing about the problem solving and decision making in identifying cause of problems and implementing solutions. VXI, of course, will also talk about the assertive communication, and which is a pretty challenging subject if you ask me. And it's going to be a guide to becoming an effective, confident, and collaborative communicator. All right. So if you are not yet commenting your course and name, this is the time that you can, let us know who you are. Okay. So since you know where to find the comment section, we'd like to hear your questions as well so that we can read them later as the speaker goes and discuss their different topics. For now, let me introduce to you our first speaker for today. He has over 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business processes, and human resources. Whew, he's an all-around guy. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So let's welcome Mr. Kim Chua, the managing director of Jobs180.com, to talk about job applications using the resume link. Sir Kim, you can take the stage.
Don't forget the wa, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. And I'm here to share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist if you're using the right tool. So just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa pag-apply. Another thing in my checklist is that, do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, and dami mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay? Another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply. No? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So, mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Diba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong bayad. Baka mukha lang akong salesman pero libre po ito. Okay? So this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called ResumeLink. ResumeLink, by definition, is the most secured tool for job application. Okay? This is a personalized URL. It is a link that anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case lang, your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. So how do you make one? Okay, how do you make one? Now, the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay? So what do? You go to www.jobs180.com, and that is where you now register. Okay? As you register, you just simply fill out the information. These are the basic information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to that work experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa my education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay, so as an example, if you are John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobs180.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo? May ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box. Sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Na okay, malungkot pag taken na. Okay lang. Maging creative lang kayo ng konti. Pwede mo balik na rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J. O kaya J Santos. O kaya JS. Di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, wag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay cutie pie, lover boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have a resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po, ang resume ko ay eljablo.jobs180.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocketmail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay? Do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay? In short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay? So use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay? Remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving notifications from the companies as well as Jobs180. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po marireceive yung mga notification ng mga companies. So, sayang naman. Diba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step. After you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo magbibigay ng resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and then your password na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay mo dyan. Diba? All the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas nami-miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede kang makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan kayo ng mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba, hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba? Antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Eh, paano kung yung HR hindi naman masipag hindi masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put here all the possible means na pwede ka makontak. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang switch, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo. No, willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social civic organization. Diba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan ha. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi perkat education ng course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi perkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pa mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Sample, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, 2 lengguwahe na. At the minimum, you know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagi mo Tagalog, Sabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, diba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. Diba? If you know foreign languages, put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese. Kung ano man yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yan talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung mga documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, eto pa. Ba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Etong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? Ito may TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie video. So I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend is you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Di ba? Ano yung mga tinatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Di ba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? O, di ba? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba, no? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na panood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, diba? How to fold table napkins. O, ganun, diba? So, depende kung ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende kung ano yung nasa field mo rin, diba? Na napag-aralan, diba? So, gusto mo magpakita ka paano mag-balance sheet, pwede rin. O, diba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And, most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming storbo. Diba? Sometimes, when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig, diba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari, nasa biyahe, diba? Or sometimes hindi magtugma yung schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing pa with the ResumeLink is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio para magpa-picture. Huwag ka na gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, diba? And then, you're good to go. Huwag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen niyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, huwag nyo gawin yan. Okay? Huwag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing pa with the ResumeLink is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work. Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation of the person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, it's a very good example, by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. Oh, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan. Lalaki man, babae, in between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan. Member man tayo ng LGBTQ+, okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, yung mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako, di ba? Eh, pag iba nababasa ko mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris, nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick, di ba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yun pala, babae. O, di ba? So that's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nilagay ng picture. Dapat kompleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now, you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now, let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong eye expert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. Diba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingiin pa sa'yo ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang aplikante na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, sir, okay nga tong resume link. Kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalantad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot ay, hindi. Kaya nga tinawag na the most secure tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo as an account user or as a ResumeLink owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the ResumeLink settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at dun ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off mo, hindi lalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa ResumeLink, updated yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to show your birthday, turn it on. What happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng ResumeLink mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to show your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng ResumeLink mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo on or off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang. You can just turn off the button. Enable public ResumeLink, off. Wala nang lalabas sa public. Kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete the information. And in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now, we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your ResumeLink to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, diba? Depende kung ano kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course. Diba? Yan ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobs.at.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang ResumeLink. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay? O kaya ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobs.at.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon Kim. Tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact ResumeLink to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So, tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So, if you're going to search for companies, what do? Just go to the website of jobs.at.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag natin pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so ano gagawin? Tingnan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay, and when you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your ResumeLink and password. So ikaw lang magbibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, "Dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. "Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobs.at.com, send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file. Diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na naman yung HR. "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume." Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, ibang address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume? "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume." I don't think you'll do that. Kasi kung ganun ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras siya, nakakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? Sige, another one. For those who wanted to use a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka when you apply to those companies, you want to give something, then this is also possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O, di ba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So, kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, di ba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O, di ba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O, di ba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. Resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, ang tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag dyan, resume link card. So in one piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it, depende kung ano ang gusto mo, pagiging creativity mo. Ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa laki or liit. Diba? Kasi laki ng index card or kasi liit lang ng mga normal business cards natin. Diba? So, depende. So, maybe in one long bond paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so, after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. Diba? 10 or 20, bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use resume link cards instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper? Bakit? Una-una, tipid. Diba? Because of course, right now, eto, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print one long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of resume link cards. O, diba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikaw yung nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan. Kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung details mo. Now, using your resume link card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng resume link card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May na stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung resume link, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your resume link card, what I recommend, you just simply put your name and your resume link. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your mobile number, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, resume link, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using resume links. In fact, doon pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet? Kailangan ng pang-load. Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O, diba? And then, pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. That's like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, resume link na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, diba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Diba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, diba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung resume link mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anong version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, Right now, we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, from north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O, diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin ResumeLink. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the ResumeLink. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo, na sa tingin mo kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control, sino bibigyan mo nun? Ikaw lang ang magbibigay, diba? So ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question, is it the same as other job platform kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no? Because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So, shout out lang to them sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo yung gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung eksaktong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your JobStreet resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to resume link ni Jobs 180, you can update it real-time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala, anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real-time across all na may alam ng resume link mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your resume link. Number 4 question, I think, is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontak ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details niya. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, you wanted to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go back to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. 'Di ba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Oh, ha? O, diba? Char-char lang yan. Okay, so anyways, again, kung meron pa kayo ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay, you may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, also Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay, so check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Chua. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Kim, for that very energetic talk and for talking us about the resume links and what is there that we can maximize in that very free resume link. And of course, in this next topic, you guys will now know the top skills employers are looking for when hiring. Now, to introduce to you our speaker for today, she has been in the industry for more than 10 years, handling different facets of human resources. She started with the outbound sourcing, then moved to end-to-end recruitment processing, to facilities and employee relations, to marketing, talent marketing, and now handling university partnerships and linkages. Whew! An all-around she is. Let's welcome the Senior Associate of Talent Attraction and Talent Acquisition of Ernst & Young in Philippines, Ms. Mariel or Ms. EL December Palomares, to discuss with us the top skills employers are looking for when hiring. Ms. EL, please come up on stage. Hello, Ms. EL.
Hi, Oliver. Kumusta? Kinaya ba? Kinaya.
Kinaya
Kina-intro,
naman
sorry,
natin.
ang haba ng intro ano, alam mo 'yan, hindi tayo papakabog diyan.
All
Ayan,
right. And can we check
so
if you have your presentations ready?
sure, sure. Okay, let me just share my screen quickly and plus the audio. Okay, how about this one? Can you see it on your
Perfect.
end?
I can now see your deck on the screen, and you will now have the stage, Miss EL. I'll be at the backstage if you need any help. Good luck on your
Okay, just cut me,
presentation.
Oliver, if ever there's no audio. Just feel free to cut
Definitely,
me.
definitely, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so again, hi everyone from St. Paul University, Manila. I'm Yel. Palomares, you can just call me Yel. I'm part of the talent attraction and acquisition team of EYGDS Philippines or Ernst and Young Global Delivery Services Philippines and part of the campus team. So I'm here right now. I'm here this afternoon. Oh, first of all, I want to thank you for spending time to join this webinar, and I hope you're learning a thing or two already, and hoping that will be helping you out through the course of your at least your adventure of trying to look for your future employer. Okay, so without further ado, so let me allow me to just quickly share a short video, just to give you an idea who EY is or who EYGDS is.
Wondering how you can become your best at any stage of your career? Start here. At EYGDS Philippines, we begin with a strong foundation to equip you with the right mindset, skills, and leading edge technology to pursue the career of your choice.
As a former intern, I wanted to work where I would learn a lot while figuring out my career path, and later pursue that path I decide on.
Then provide continuing education and a global community for countless opportunities to find your place and maximize your potential.
It's a challenging work environment that helps me gain additional qualifications, continuously teaches me skills, and gives me a chance to figure the challenges out. It's like a gateway to super diverse and inclusive network of like-minded people, lots of opportunities to work and collaborate with people internationally.
EYGDS Philippines supports your personal and professional development at every stage with flexible work arrangements that best suit you.
You tend to think about the more important things. I appreciate the stability and the package and benefits that EYGDS Philippines provides, especially while raising a family. Working from home and spending time safe from the commute with my loved ones is very rewarding.
To build a better workplace, EYGDS Philippines strives to build a better working world. Our legacy is to share our greatest knowledge resource, our people.
You ask yourself, how do I give back to something that has given me so much? My answer? Teach. I owe my success to my mentor, and the best way to say thank you is to pay that legacy forward.
At EYGDS Philippines, we provide tools to build your career, life, and legacy. The exceptional EY experience. It's yours to build.
Okay, so I hope you're able to enjoy that video, and I actually thought of sharing that location video so that you have an idea what it's like to be part of a certain company. So you can see right now, of course, there are trends already since after the pandemic, right? There are still companies in a work from home setup, like 100% work from home, but us in EY, we're required to report on site twice a week. Okay, so there's already the hybrid setup. And since we're also talking about top skills employers look for when hiring, so I decided to show you that video because, of course, in EY, our greatest asset is our people. Okay, so that's why we make sure that we check the skills that candidates should have before we invite them to be part of our team. Because this are somehow a priority that at least you have the moment that you apply or the moment that you try to be part of EY. Okay, so first, of course, not 100% tech savvy, but of course, you need to be at least aware of the current trends in terms of technology. So as technology, of course, becomes more integrated into the workplace, like right now with EY, you might think because we're one of the big four accounting firms globally. So of course, you might think that oh, accounting firms more on books, more on like manually writing down, manually monitoring, manually tracking those, for example, for those invoices or details about the clients in and out of their money, for example. So right now it's different. So it's not like it's not a manual type of process. Of course, there are a lot of softwares already who helps our auditors, our tax experts to do their job faster, better, accurately, right? So that's why we need someone who's open to change, who's open to technology, and who doesn't. Because there are some people, I do understand that they're not into the fast-paced type of technology. There's a certain fear, right? If especially right now, I'm sure you're always reading about or hearing about AI and all, right? Robotics and all. So we need someone that is willing to embrace that power of technology and open to work hand in hand with those technology platforms. Okay, so if you have time, of course, perhaps basic in programming or at least data analysis. Okay, knowledge of digital marketing tools also is a plus. Okay, so this types of knowledge, even though because before, way back when it was, let's say, 10, 20 years ago, normally what you can see is knowledgeable in Microsoft Office. So usually kasama talaga yon sa resume. However, nowadays, it's not enough that you know Microsoft Office alone. You need to widen or broaden the scope of your knowledge. Okay. And then next will be emotional intelligence. Okay, so soft skills like emotional intelligence has always been really crucial, not just with EY, but I'm sure most of the companies nowadays. But since, of course, we're into tough times, challenging times nowadays, even though you're not a fan of watching the news, for example, or you're just into checking articles in IG, in FB, in X or whatnot, then you'll see all the things that are happening around us. Okay, so if of course employers want individuals who can manage their own emotions, especially their opinions, things that are negative, and be able to still work regardless of the situation, still interact with others professionally. Okay, especially right now, it's easy for people to be triggered and end up, being keyboard warriors, as they say, right? So we need someone who's able to at least control or discipline themselves and choose. Sabi nga nila, you need to choose your battles. There are battles that are really not that important but might affect you in the future. Right? I'm sure you know all about that. We all have our stories, or at least we all have that friend of a friend or a relative who suddenly, for example, just posted something online, right? For example, he or she just trying to let out some steam, for example, and then it's already started something that is not really helping out, or it tend to be leaning towards the negative side of things. So even at work, so you need to make sure that, of course, especially during if they're already the time of, let's say, voting season, like campaign season, yan yung medyo critical dun sa mga tao, right? So they tend to like block people, or if they do not agree. Okay, of course, you have all the right to do that. It's your personal account. But in EY, since we're also like ambassadors of the company, so as much as possible, of course, we avoid negativity online. So if you're sharing something good or something to remind people, something to uplift, perhaps. Okay, then and if you're going to, especially if you're going through some tough times, Okay, perhaps it will be best if you want to, let's say, de-stress. Perhaps you can think of something else. You can go, strolling, talking to a friend, or if you still really want to post something, perhaps you can just, change the settings wherein it's just only me. There's the only me option wherein you can just view it alone. Then you can rant there. Okay, so because sometimes it affects, of course, our work as well and how people see us, how people sees the company. Okay, so next will be critical thinking. Okay, so critical thinking skills are also in high demand. Okay, because this is something that's not easily taught in school. Employers want, of course, individuals who can make sure that they can churn that certain information. Okay, so like read between the lines, think outside the box. Normally, you can hear this cliche things and make sure to evaluate data. Okay, so critical thinking skills are very important, especially if you're trying to eye leadership roles. Normally, if you, us in recruitment, for example, I had this opportunity to help out my teammates because they were on vacation leave the past few weeks. So I helped them out in terms of interviewing candidates, which I don't normally do, since I'm more on events like this one. Okay, but since I helped them out, so when we ask candidates, let's say their long-term goals or how they see themselves, let's say decades from now or 5 years from now, for example, most of them want to be, of course, promoted, have let's say very important role already in the company, leadership roles. Okay, so if you're eyeing for that, of course, you need to practice or at least hone your critical thinking skills. Okay, so because I'm sure not just in EY, not just most of the international companies, but companies nowadays, local and internationally connected alike, is looking for or are looking for people who have this certain skill. Okay, next is adaptability. Okay, so you need to make sure that because right now, right, we started from just the normal day to day work, day to day reporting to your school, for example, and then pandemic hit, right? Suddenly, everything changed. We didn't know that it's possible to work and study online, right? And not just simply online, but that it might last for a year or two. Okay, and then of course we were forced to be adaptable during that time. We were forced to be flexible. Lucky for those who are already even before the pandemic, but there are of course people who are having challenges, having a difficult time in terms of these constant changes. There are some companies, of course, who are who try their best to put everyone in a work from home setup, even in schools, right? But of course, we need to be open to to the fact that this is something new back then, and then right now we're already in a hybrid setup. Some companies are already 100% on site. Okay, some retained the hybrid setup, and some are still in a work from home setup. So depends on the company that you'll be part of. But us in EY, we believe that a balance is better. I mean, speaking for our team, okay, because we also value collaboration, and based on experience, especially us in recruitment, it's better for us to at least collaborate with our teammates, be able to have that personal touch, be able to talk with them, hang out with them, have coffee with them, things like that, right? So there's and us, even in like on my end, in my role, university partnerships and linkages, it's pretty special for me, like a good experience for me if I meet the people I exchange emails with personally. I do school visits, I talk to the deans, talk to the OJT coordinators, for example, if they invite me in personally in their school, so I go there. So it's a different feeling, like seeing them, talking with them, um, seeing them in person, basically, compared to just online. So for me, I mean, personally, not speaking on behalf of others, but personally, it's a better experience for me. Like it really is, like a memorable thing for me, and the connection is for me. It became stronger and a bit. Okay, so of course, different situation is varies, right, for different persons. So, but still, adaptability is a crucial skill that employers trying to look for nowadays. Because sometimes, of course, if there's a mandate, either a government mandate or a memo just within the company, so you need to be adaptable, you need to be flexible, you need to be resilient. Okay, so this also includes like if you're open to new ideas and feedback. Okay, especially companies are what they call this, pushing for feedback, so that of course feedback is someone that at first, if you're not comfortable, might make you feel um sad in a sense if the feedback is not that good, or lukewarm type of feedback. But then again, you need to accept it in a sense that this should be something that will help you improve. Okay, that's why if you notice, if there are events, if there are job fairs, career talks, etc., or even simple events that you might be attending, or you're able to attend, for example, way back, they normally ask for feedback so that they can improve, and they know if something went wrong that they failed to notice, for example, like on the back end, or at least if everything went perfectly, then it will be an ego boost for the sake of those who arranged the event, right? And then communication. Okay, strong communication skills have always been important, even prior pandemic, especially in EY, since we handle international clients. Okay, so you might be confused because for the logo, the EY logo is the same as the SGV logo, because SGV is our local partner firm. So if let's say the client is based outside the country, so EY will be handling the client. So if that's the case, for EYGDS specifically, of course, we need someone who can communicate with different EY employees and EY clients from across the globe. Okay, because we have offices in Hungary, Buenos Aires, Japan, etc. So if you'll be given a certain project and you need to present to the client, right? So how would you do that? So it's not just us being extra strict, or you might think that grabe naman to si EY, nasa Pilipinas naman tayo, so hindi ba pwedeng Tagalog na lang, something like that. So we understand that certain situation, but then again, we deal with international clients, and our teammates are also based in different parts of the world. So that's why we need someone who will be comfortable in expressing their thoughts in English, will be able to present smoothly, who can convey their thoughts well, right? And the receiving end will be able to understand what you're trying to say, right? So because if you want to be part of an international company, then you need to um, practice that. You need to be good with it. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be excellent with the language, but at least be able to communicate well, put your thoughts into words well. Okay, and then your train of thought is good when you try to converse, and perhaps you can also widen your vocabulary if you have extra time, right? So that if it's effectively across all mediums, which includes email, chat, and whatnot. Okay, so because sometimes there are people who are good in speaking but not so good in drafting an email, especially if it's a work email, or creating a formal letter, business letter, for example. Okay, so this also includes active listening skills and the ability to provide constructive feedback. So again, that's part of it. So this is one of the top skills that employers are looking for, even way back, even 5, 10 years ago. This is one of the top skills that you need to really sharpen. Okay, and then creativity. So of course, normally we have like tasks that are um repetitive in a sense, but we still need creativity, and employers still want individuals who have fresh ideas, and you can someone who can share how they solve the certain problem. That's why us in campus we're looking for fresh graduates, especially those who has like a less than 1 year experience, because of course we want fresh ideas. We want to know what is trending, for example, what are the things that you might be learning new in school, or things that you experience in your internship, for example, something like that. Okay, and then of course leadership skills are also in high demand. So employers want individuals who can, of course, not just motivate and inspire others, but who can make sound decisions, who are confident enough to speak out, who has a heart. Leader, of course, needs to have a heart to make sure to care for their subordinates, right? So even if you're not in a senior manager role in an instant, you of course start with an associate role on our end. So starting with associate to senior associate to supervising associate, for example, you need to have that certain leadership quality for you to be able to be part of, or to be considered at least an asset to the organization. I'm sure even during your high school days, elementary days, or right now during your college days in St. Paul. So there are a lot of opportunities to that are given to you by the school to to perhaps improve that certain skill, or discover that you have that uh, leader, like inner leader in you. Okay, so don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone, right? And prove that you can be someone that people will look up to. Okay, even if you have just, let's say, two, three, or four people who you are guiding, then still you are considered a leader. Even in your homes, you can practice that, right? If not specifically if you're the eldest, but even if just simple projects at home, simple things that needs decision making, strategic decisions, for example, if you have family business, things like that. Okay, so you need to hone that certain skill. Okay, so going back, so those are the top seven skills employers are looking for when hiring. Okay, so speaking of hiring, please allow me to just have a quick advertisement. So, because now currently we're looking for 60 plus audit staff. So we need BS accountancy graduates who are open to start with a 4 month contract first and be absorbed by the company. Of course, depending on your performance in the first 4 months. The start date will be by January 8th. We're continuously hiring. It's just initial and final interview. So again, you need to be BS accountancy graduate. It is open to fresh graduates. And again, January 8th is a start date, and no need to have that license yet. So as long as you have, let's say, 0 to 1 year experience, you can apply for the role. Also, we are looking for IT interns who can start immediately, but this is just for a limited number. So just 10, actually, to be straightforward, to be transparent with you guys. So we're looking for 10 IT staff who are willing to report on site. Okay, I think they're on a daily basis type of reporting for the interns. And then there. So how can you apply? We have a job posting for the contractual audit staff. Of course, in jobs180.com/EYGDS. You can, for the interns, you can also send your resume at campusrecruitmentph@gds.ey.com. Okay, so we also have job postings there in our Jobs 180 site. We have cybersecurity for Cebu and Manila, and SAP for Cebu and Manila. So I just didn't, advertise it because the start date is tentatively by February, but there's no exact start date yet. Okay, however, for the audit staff, start date is by January 8th. Okay, so that's it for me. Back to you, Oliver.
Mariel, for that very insightful topics. And it really is very timely, no? From tech savvy to leadership skills. I think those are the skills that really are needed for the for the industries that we have right now. So for you guys watching this, I'd like you guys to take this opportunity to go to the comment section and post your questions below regarding our topic. Maybe Miss El, if you can, still join me on stage. I do have some
Sure.
questions here that can help us, understand better and know better of what we have to prepare in the employments ahead. So, um, do you remember a story or a time when you have an applicant and he has successfully demonstrated the key skills in a way that he or she left a lasting positive impression to you?
Yes, actually, I have a handful of that experience. There are even candidates that, you know, I was so amazed. I was lost for words. Even
Wow.
just reading their resumes, they were like a part of this project who is like PH wide, and then she was like, I didn't focus more on her like awards and all, but the projects that she led at a very young age.
Wow.
So during the interview, I told her, "How did you do this? You're handling like hundreds of people, and you're this young." So it shows, of course, leadership skills, and her communication skills was top notch. And then, she was not obnoxious at all or arrogant at all that, nako, ito na yung na-achieve ko, ang bata ko pa, mga ganyan. Hindi, parang tumatawa lang siya. Parang hindi niya na-feel na ang laki ng impact niya, na ang dami niya nang ginawa at a very young age. Parang siya relax lang. Ako naman 'tong amazed na, ba't ako nung college parang wala naman ako masyadong naiambag sa lipunan. Parang puro aral-aral lang, parang wala naman ako masyado, siyempre sa takot ko kasing bumagsak, 'di ba, talagang nag-focus
Oo.
ako more on my studies. If I have extracurricular, yun na yung nag-basketball ako on the side, and then parang dance troupe
Wow.
on the side. Pero yung talagang nakaka-affect sa like sa community and all, parang nakakatuwa din kasi of course, companies check, kasi nga nag-iisip siguro sila na, "Miss Yel, paano yun, eh, wala naman po kami ngang work experience. How can we sell ourselves? How can we prove that we're worthy of the post?" So those are perhaps some techniques then if you have like participation in your community, in your church, in your school, or even hobbies that you're really passionate about. 'Di ba, yung iba nun parang sabi nga nila parang minamata-mata pa yung mga e-games, ganyan. Nung ngayon, talagang pangmalakasan na siya, 'di ba?
Oo, 'no?
Kahit sa company namin meron kasama yan sa sports fest. So, you can also include that, 'di ba? Baka sabihin kasi po puro ganito lang, puro pagli-League of Legends lang ginagawa ko 'pag spare time. Lagay mo, malay mo naman, 'di ba? You'll never know kung talaga bang performer ka dun sa topic na yun o dun sa area na yun. Yung mga iba na K-drama fan, K-pop fan, na talaga umaabot sa point na they try to learn Hangul, 'di ba? So you can put it there. As long as you think it will make you stand out, then put it in your resume. Or if you have naman a lot of things na to indicate there, you can, insert it during interviews. Right? So,
Right.
because it shows na well-rounded individual kayo. You're flexible, you're creative, 'di ba? Parang ang dami niya na agad tatamaan ng mga skills eh. At the same time, you might show that you're tech savvy already because you use this, you use that kind of software to manage this project. 'Di ba? Ayun. So minsan kasi
Wow.
Oliver, parang sometimes merong mga students na they underestimate their power or they keep their
Oo, 'no?
capability. Feeling lang nila porket hindi sila with Latin honors, parang hindi na sila
Right.
mag-excel. Hindi totoo 'yun, ha. Hindi talaga totoo
Mm.
'yun. Ako wala talaga ako hindi talaga ako honor student. Pero I survived and I'm blessed to be part of EY, 'di ba? So may mga times lang sa sarili niyo that you need to trust, you need to check, saan nga ba ako magaling, 'di ba? And then
Right.
attend that interview, and you need to attend at least 5, 7, 8 interviews to learn at the same time na, kailangan ko pa pala mag-practice ng English ko. Kailangan ko pa pala i-practice yung listening skills ko kasi parang hindi ko masyado naintindihan yung tanong, mga gano'n. Okey. Dami ko ng
Right,
nasabi 'no,
oo.
isa lang yung tanong
No,
mo.
which is hindi, tama yun, Miss Iel, connected naman siya sa isa't isa,
Hmm.
'no? So it really does, it really does, get you off your chair kapagka, yung resume niya is really interesting and very fascinating. It's really cool to know that despite all of the things na naging, ano nung naging achievement nung applicant, she's still on the ground, di ba? Unlike others na talagang so high na, no, nasa high heaven na sila.
Uy, meron din kasi ako na-interview yung ganyan. Akala kapag kuwentuhan kami ni Oliver, akala mo nasa coffee shop lang. May na-interview din kasi akong ganyan na gulat din talaga ako. Partida mock interview lang yun, with a certain
Wow.
school. And ang lakas talaga nung arrive ni candidate. Parang hindi mo alam kung amo ko ba siya. Yung gano'n. So medyo tone down. Again, guys, there's a thin line between confidence and arrogance.
And
Okay, always
arrogance,
remember
definitely.
that. Okay, so alam niyo paano niyo mahuhuli yan? Get someone to listen to you. For example, relative, friend, pakinggan mo nga ako, pre. Mukha bang mayabang? Okay, practice kaya. Kasi minsan hindi mo alam na gano'n na yung tunog. Akala mo you're trying to be confident lang. Yun pala parang sumobra. O kaya minsan
Totoo
naman you're
yan.
trying to be humble lang. Yun pala
Right.
sumobra. 'Di ba,
Mm.
nada-downgrade mo na ba yung sarili mo. So, for me, it's always practice and it's always, double checking, triple checking. Ayan.
Right. And feedback does help, no, sa
Oo.
mga peers nila, no?
Totoo. Medyo masakit lang talaga yun. Ako super sensitive kasi ako, eh. Ang tagal din, taon, ay sasabihin ko na sa inyo, years bago ako naka-adjust diyan. Kasi nga sensitive ako. So, parang 'pag sinasabihan ako ng ganyan, ganito yung kailangan mong improve, parang, hala, sabihin gano'n pala ako. Tapos minsan naiiyak na ako, yung gano'n. So, sa tanda kong 'to, ang tagal bago ako naka-adjust diyan. So, sa mga ibang students
Right.
diyan, don't feel na kayo lang yung gano'n. Marami tayo, char, na medyo sensitive. Pero hindi kasi talaga siya maiwasan. Talagang sa company,
Yes.
important talaga
Yes.
sa kanila yung feedback. So, what you can do is just, shake it off. Isipin niyo papaano ba kayo medyo makakalma, and then mas focus focus kayo kung papaano niyo improve. Sabi nga nila parang
Right.
forward thinking tayo. So ganito pala ako, medyo kulang pala ako sa presentation skills. Paano ko kaya improve 'to? O kaya parang medyo kulang pala ako sa time management, lagi akong late sa meeting, laging ganyan. Paano
Mm.
kaya ma-improve 'to? Ayan, so gano'n na lang. Don't take it as a personal attack. Not unless it is, kayo lang
Not unless, yes.
makakasabi ng gano'n. Siyempre ilapit niyo na sa HR, 'di ba? Pero kapag hindi naman, baka hindi naman masyadong personal yung attack, talagang nagiging honest lang. So,
Yes.
ano niyo lang, review niyo lang, or kapag close din kayo sa tao,
Yes.
tanong niyo, "Uy, paano ba nangyari? Paano ko kaya improve 'yan? Ano kayang ganyan?" Ayan. So, 'wag
Yes,
maging
and
defensive, 'di ba? Minsan kasi
yes.
naging defensive tayo, eh. "Uy, hindi ako ganyan." Mga gano'n.
That's true,
So,
that's
alamin,
true,
'di
that's true.
ba? So, alamin niyo rin, guys and girls and everyone, i-analyze niyo rin, minsan kailangan din natin tanggapin kahit minsan masakit. Hindi hugot yun,
Mm.
totoo yun, 'di ba? May mga bagay talaga na totoo kasi kaya medyo masakit. So, after
Right.
that, maging ano lang tayo, critical thinker lang, o maging ano lang tayo, isipin niyo lang,
Right.
"So, how can I improve?" Mapapasalamatan niyo rin yang nag-feedback na yan after a few months or years na, "Uy, thank you, kinall out mo 'to. At least ngayon ganito na ako. At least now I can speak well, I can present better sana." 'Di ba, compared to last year, for example. Ayan.
Right. Totoo yan, no? So that really demonstrates yung emotional intelligence, critical thinking, and also adaptability. And sabi nga ni
Correct.
Henry Ford, keep moving forward, no? So despite all these
Mm.
setbacks, you have to keep moving forward. So I want to thank you,
Yes.
Miss EL, for your time today, and for
Thank you.
answering these questions and for this konting chikahan with you. So
Thanks
we hope to
everyone.
see you. No, we hope to see you in the next events that we have. And right. So you have a very wonderful afternoon, and I'll see you again around, in the next few times. So
Okay.
yeah.
Thanks, Oliver. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Miss EL. Let's give him a round of applause for Miss EL in your homes, in your, just give this video a thumbs up and give it a heart. Ayan, really is a very powerful message, to look for and improve all of these skills for what is ahead. Now, to introduce to you the third topic that we have for today, and it's going to be about problem solving and decision making. I would like to introduce to you our speaker for today. She is a graduate Bachelor in Broadcast Communication, major in broadcasting, and a consistent President's Dean's Lister of the College of Communication from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. She is a talent acquisition professional with over 13 years of combined experience in healthcare, telecommunications, and business process outsourcing setting. a certified targeted selection specialist by the Development Dimensions International Incorporated, and a certified recruitment and selection expert by the Harry Pound Consultants Incorporated. She brings with her all and if Cassius proven track record in handling full cycle or end-to-end recruitment in both local and international corporate telecommunications, customer focused services, as well as medical and healthcare services, she considers herself as a writer at heart and a communicator at the same time. Let's all welcome in the talent acquisition department of Makati Medical Center, Miss Jertrude or Miss Jade Oliveros. Miss Jade, please come up on stage. Hello there. Good afternoon.
Hello, good
Wow.
afternoon. Am I audible?
Good afternoon. And such a very prolific profile that we have there for our speakers. Let's try your presentation today, Miss Jade, if it's going to work. Right? Just
Sure,
if you
let
can
me
see the
just,
present button.
yep. All right, can you see my presentation?
I can now see the presentation. It's quite loading and it's now, anong problema mo? Wow, what a
Tama.
question. Effective problem solving skills and decision making. So I'm going to leave this stage to you. Mic check and video check and presentation check all done. So have a wonderful time on stage, Miss Jade. I'll see you in the backstage.
Salamat, Oliver. Good afternoon, everyone. Magandang hapon sa ating mga dear Polinians. Thank you very much and thank you for having us here in Makati Medical Center to share one of our expertise here in the hospital. So you can call me Jade. I am part of talent acquisition of Makati Medical Center. Actually, this deck was prepared by a Polinian at heart. She's also one of the alumni of St. Paul. She's my teammate. She's just doing something right now. So ako na lang ang maggagawa ng presentation. She did this presentation for all of you, hoping that you'll be able to see everyone right now. But things happen, so I'm taking her spotlight for the meantime. Anyway, so she did this. Ang question niya talaga was, anong problema mo? We were tasked now to share to you effective problem solving and decision making skills. So, ano ba yung problem solving? No? Parang ang dali lang. No? Sometimes it's also a math problem kung naiisip natin. But basically, problem solving is an analytical method to identify potential solutions to a particular situation. So it involves identifying an issue, finding causes, asking questions, and brainstorming solutions. This is basically gathering facts to help us make the solution more obvious. So ano ba yung normal problems na na-encounter natin? So sometimes it's financial problem, career, personal, family. Sometimes it's love life, ganyan. So all boils down to that. No? So it's there are basically 6 problem solving steps that we have here for you. No? So number 1 is to identify the problem, search for alternatives, weigh the alternatives, evaluate the results, implement the choice, and definitely to make a choice. So first of the 6 steps in problem solving basically is to identify the problem. So we need to farm out ano ba talaga yung problema, what is the root cause ng talagang issue na pina-problem natin. So first step again is to identify what the problem is, or the issue as how we call it. It's important to understand the issue before you start thinking about potential solutions or decisions, because only if we have identified the problem, we'll be able to funnel down the next steps that we need to do. So time and again, we need to ask ourselves questions like, what's the problem? Why is it a problem to begin with? Or how urgent is the problem? Or what are the consequences right after if I did this or if I don't do this? Again, the first thing you must do to proceed to solve a problem is to identify it. So you need to be able to draw a fine line. Kung ano ba yon? Is it really a problem to begin with? If yes, it's a problem, and we have identified specifically what the problem is, then we move on to the next step, which is to search for alternatives. So basically, yun yung gagawin natin, to search for alternatives. After you finalized the problem and you've analyzed that it is really an issue or a problem, now you can start brainstorming after different approaches to be able to, to resolve the problem. Search for alternatives. Are there other ways that's possible to iron out the problem? Are there other possible solutions for this problem? Are there other choices that I can do? Are there other paths that I can take? Are there other people who can help me? So remember that these are alternatives. It doesn't mean that everything will work. Not all of them will work, but you're not trying to pick out one that will and won't work during this step. This is basically for you to generate as many ideas as you can and as many options as you can. Because the best option will definitely work at the end. So you gather all the alternatives that's possible, present, that can help you before you move on to the next step, which is to weigh the alternatives. So weighing the alternatives, now that you have a bunch of alternatives in your hand, a bunch of options that you have, now it's time that you weigh them. So you go through each alternative that you have and figure out which ideas are ones to try and which are the ones to just to leave behind. So there are good ideas that you think this is possible, this is feasible, this might be a good idea, and there are other options that might be maybe the last option that you wanted to take or you wanted to try. So always think
I'm
through
sorry,
all
Miss
the
Jade.
pros and cons.
I'm sorry, Miss Jade. I think we were stuck on the first slide. Do you have any second slide or third slide?
Did it move?
There we go. Yeah, now it moved. Sorry about that. I'm
Oh,
now
okay.
behind backstage.
Do you want me to go back to the other slides? No, nah.
That's okay. That's
So
okay.
just okay.
Right.
So just to show, okay, I can. Thank you for calling the attention. So you're stuck on the first slide, right? So this
It's
one,
now
so
all
again,
good.
that's problem solving. I think I discussed this already. And also there, so normally the financial crisis, personal problems, careers, love life sometimes. Then this is the 6 steps of problem solving. So I'll go through one at a time, one by one, just so to share the deck with you. So again, we identify the problem. We also search for alternatives. We weigh the alternatives. So like what I was saying, always think through the pros and cons for each option and consider how each one would affect you. So again, not all choices, not all alternatives will work, but there's always one that will definitely work. So you just have to weigh and balance which one will work for you best and which are the alternatives that you think you need to park and maybe think twice, thrice before you execute that plan. Okay? And then we make a choice. So we have options already. We have weighed the pros and cons. Then now we make a choice. So once you have evaluated different approaches, it's time to make a decision. We pick an idea for solving the problem and give it a try. Remember, decision making plays an important role. Later on, we'll discuss about that. You will have to make a decision that yields the best results, but don't consider any alternatives as a perfect solution. If there were, there probably wouldn't be a problem in the first place. So once we're firm, we need to make a choice. We stand up for that choice and we make sure that it happens the best possible way that it can. And then we implement the choice. We make it happen. So after you've made the decision that I'm choosing this path, I'm choosing this direction, now you can decide how to implement it. We need to start by identifying primary objectives and deliverables, creating deadlines, among others. So we implement it. So we don't just say this shall happen, but it will only happen with our perseverance, with all the efforts that we will be putting into it before it really happens, before we implement the choice. So this is a really a very crucial step in decision making, actually. So because here you'll have to reach a decision and implement that said decision too. When it comes to executing your decision, it's always best to go in a step-by-step order, as organized as possible, so you don't miss out on anything crucial. So normally, like what's in here in this slide, we normally write down and organize things. Which step do we do? Which is next? Which is the one next after the other? We cross out the things that we have done, and we take note of it, and then we normally put value and meaning to the big steps that we have already executed. So that's when we implement the choice. So right after that, of course, we need to evaluate the results. So we have already executed and implemented the decision that we have chosen. Now it's time to evaluate the result. Is it worthy of anything, of the time and the effort? Is it a good choice? Is it the best choice? It might not be the only choice. So through evaluation, through analysis, that's when we know if the result is good or if the choice is right. Basically, once everything has been implemented and your decision is good to go, keep track of it. Always monitor the progress and see if any additional tweaks needs to be done every now and then. Because after you've tried to solve the problem, we need to check in to see if it worked. If it worked for the good or if it worked for the other way around. If it did, awesome. If it did, just go back and pick another. If it didn't, then you just go back and pick another solution that you thought of during the third step in weighing the alternatives. So basically, the evaluation part, this step is for us to really improve. So when we evaluate our decisions, that's where we see where we can still improve, if this is a good decision or if this is a not so good decision. So again, if this choice did not work, then we move on to another alternative, to another choice. Then we follow the succeeding process. So basically, that's how we do problem solving. How do we check on the problem solving? So like what I've mentioned earlier, crucial part of this problem solving is decision making, the process of decision making. So we dive deeper to decision making this time around. So the process of decision making, so this is just very basic. So like what we've said earlier, we define the problem or we identify the problem. We do problem analysis. This is basically rooting down what happened, which caused the problem, and what are the possible options. So this is basically also what you need to do in problem solving. Then when you've analyzed the problem, we now generate possible solutions. So this is also basically making alternatives, like what we've shared earlier. So once we have alternatives also, then we can already come up with solutions. So in problem solving, we have several choices that we have. But here in decision making, we analyze the solutions. So these are not just alternatives, but more of a solution already to address the problem. So once we've analyzed the solutions and we see fit that this one will work rather than the other, we select the best solution. Then after selecting, we plan the next course of action. So we go on solving. So basically, it's similar in a way, but it gives more emphasis on solving solving a particular issue through decision making. So when we identify a problem, a part of it is to decide on how to solve it. So when we decide, we take into consideration several factors, all factors possible: personal factor, family factors, career, financials, emotions, even mental health is also part of that decision making. Because all these factors adds up to the final resolution of the problem. If one is not present, if one is not yet firm that we will decide on this so that we'll be able to arrive on this particular solution, then I think we need to think several times, several more times again. Don't mind if you always go back to starting identifying the problem, or the starting with checking if there is really a problem, because only then you can assess. So it's not in a blink of an eye that you'll get a solution right there and then, but it's a process that you'll have to do so that you'll be able to arrive to the best decision possible, um, with the benefit of all the people concerned. So let me leave you with a very meaningful quote from Michael J. Marks, that decision making and problem solving are not the same. To solve a problem, one needs to find a solution. But to make a decision, one needs to make a choice. So basically, that's it. Again, my name is Jade from Makati Medical Center. You can visit our jobs180.com/Makati Medical Center to visit our full list of openings. You can also visit our website at www.makatimed.net.ph, or send us an email via recruitment@makatimed.net.ph. Thank you very much, and see you around.
Thank you
Oliver?
so much, Miss Jade. Yes, thank you for that very, very wonderful and very parang specific na mga steps in identifying a problem, searching for alternatives, and more of that in decision making. Yan. So, guys, I'd like to take this opportunity for you to go to the comment section as well, so that you can post your questions and that we can ask Miss Jade. For now, let me start with a few things, Miss Jade. Right. So sometimes problem solving would involve collaboration. And how do effective teams approach problem solving? And what advice could you have for individuals on fostering a collaborative problem solving environment?
Okay. So, yes, that's really part and parcel of problem solving. So, collaboration. So, I think best to collaborate, best before collaboration is to identify the people involved. So, we need to make sure
Right.
who are the departments, for example, who are the teams that you really need to seek help with. And never forget that it's not taboo to ask help, to raise your hand, I need help. So basically, it's pretty much common, because only then, when you identified that you need help, that's the only time where help will come. If you have identified that you need help, then that's the time that everybody will pitch in for help. So that's when collaboration enters. So once you've identified the team who can really help you, then that's when we exchange data. That's when we tell them, this is the situation, this is what's going to happen, this is what I need, this is where we need to improve. You exchange, you collaborate, because you will not see your faults or your mistakes. Only others, like what the other speaker from EY told us, no? So arrogance is different. Just a friend, another person can only tell you that you're arrogant, but you yourself will not be able. So only if you seek the
Exactly.
help of others, you'll be able to identify and have a meaningful and fruitful collaboration. After all, you cannot solve issues on your own. So there will always be another person to meddle with you and to extend the help that you need.
Right, right. Asking for help is a skill and also part of humility, right? So you need to have those things, no, when you need help. All right. So that really
Yeah.
is a cool thing. In problem solving, though in teams it can happen. So identifying the people involved really would be the first step, and know when to need help is another one. And with with the problem solving, sometimes failure is inherent. It can be part of problem solving. Failure can arise anywhere in the steps. And could you maybe share an instance where a solution didn't go as planned, and then what are the valuable lessons that you've learned from that experience?
Sure, very nice. So, like what we've mentioned in the introduction, I'm part of HR, specifically in
Yeah.
talent acquisition. So, as you may know, so people come and go, so there are fast turnovers every now and then. So there are certain decisions, specifically in hiring nurses. So we have been very um, uh, firm with our qualifications, that these are our qualifications. We need this, we need that. But come the pandemic, it went back to us.
That's
So
right.
it all went back to us. So what we did, since the first plan did not work, my first alternative did not work. What we did is to go on second, third, fourth alternatives, which is to be flexible, to be able to get what's available in the market, and to be able to get what we need also. It's not like we're compromising what we need, what we want. No. But it's more on being flexible with who are available in the market. Because it's a win-win situation after all. That's what we've
Right.
realized. Win-win
Right.
basically is win for us because we gain people to help the workforce at the height of the pandemic, to help us help the sick people. Win for the employee or for the applicant because we were able to give them employment, which gives them
Right.
salary, and which also gives them and help them put food in the table. So it's win-win for us.
That's
So not all plans will go accordingly as planned. You're right, Oliver. I would have to agree. But what if there's one lesson that we've learned on that? We did not stop. We made sure
right.
that we funneled down to the next option, and we did not let those bad decisions hamper our day-to-day operations, specifically in the industry where we belong, in providing health and care for everyone who are in need.
Exactly. And with a lot of businesses na challenge in a pandemic, I think that's also a lesson that they've learned. No? Keep moving on to the next step that's viable option, to get into the solution na talagang that would fit. And it really is, a challenge even for us during the pandemic. We did a lot of adjustments, and flexibility really is an important thing to have in these times. And it's not just in this time, but moving forward, things are changing every time, every now and then. So I guess we should expect more flexibility, ang kailangan natin in these industries. Now, in the decision making, in the environment, it's a fast-paced work environment na here in the era right now, with the internet, with the information available at hand, with the changing market and changing ever-changing challenges, how can individuals maybe enhance their decision making skills and making effective decisions despite the time constraints without even compromising inequality in their options?
Yeah, that's very nice, no? So you see, in everything that we do, we we're supposed to be enhancing our decision making skills, like in what food to eat, what
Right.
clothes to wear, which transportation to take, what time to sleep, among others. So personally, I take note of my good decisions. More so, I take note of my bad decisions. Because only there, with the interest of time, with time constraint, I'll be able to learn more. If I know that this decision is a bad decision, hindi ako magbabus on a rush hour, for example. Then I'll know. Or I'll leave earlier on a rush hour. Then I'll know. I'll be able to have a prudent decision right there and there. I will not be able to waste my time stuck in traffic if I just left earlier, or if I just maximize my time and stay in the office and leave a little later para lesser traffic, things like that. So we take note of our good decisions and our bad decisions, and we learn from it. Again, like I think with my
Exactly.
previous talks with Jobs or 180, among others, we don't have mistakes, basically. We only have lessons learned. We don't have, there are no mistakes
Exactly.
in life, Oliver, but there are just lessons learned.
Right. And that's a wonderful share of of lessons in life. And it really is a parang difference. It makes a difference to take note of the things that made good decisions and bad decisions. And I want to thank you, Miss Jade, for sharing all of these insights with our students today. A very very wonderful talk and a quick Q&A. So we want to thank you again for this time. And guys, kindly give Miss Jade a heart or a thumbs up in the comment section. Ayan. So we
Thank you
hope to
very
have
much,
you in our next
Convenience.
webinar. Ayan. So you have a wonderful day ahead of you and see you in our next webinars, Miss Jade.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a nice day and stay safe.
Stay safe, Miss Jade. See you around. Okay, so right, that is a very, very wonderful insight from our from our Miss Jade. So these things can really help you go along in your college life, not just in the life right now, but also in the next few years ahead of you, diba? So to introduce you more on the things that you need to have before you even enter the working environment, I'd like to introduce to you to our last speaker for today. Now, he is a BEED CA English graduate from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. He has experience working as a language educator and an instructional designer. He is also currently employed at VXI, where he and a team of specialists work towards finding the best employment fit for aspiring applicants. He is a talent acquisition trainer of VXI. Let's all welcome Mr. Eric Dumantay Jr. to talk about with us assertive communication. It's a guide to becoming an effective, confident, and a collaborative communicator. Sir Eric, how are you doing?
Hi, Sir Oliver. I'm doing great.
Perfect,
Sobrang
perfect.
interesting so far. I've heard the talk from Miss Jade. And
Awesome, right? Very insightful, right? So kindly let us know if you can up your presentation.
sure. Opening it right now. Okay. And let me know if you can see it. It should be this one. Yeah. Is it up?
There we go. I can definitely see your PowerPoint, sir. So I'll now be going backstage. So if you need any help, just let me know. But I'll pop up if ever I encounter any issues. So you have the stage and enjoy your spotlight.
Right. Thanks. So, hi. Good afternoon to everyone here. Well, first, I want to take the chance to thank Jobs 180 again for holding this event. And of course, to everyone in attendance, to our audience. So, as Sir Oliver mentioned, yeah, my name is Eric, and I'm part of talent acquisitions at VXI Global. So there, what we do basically is find best employment fit for job seekers like you, or if you're going to be looking for jobs in the next few months. That's what we do. We try to help you find the right spot, especially for those who are interested in getting into the BPO industry. Now, one of the most important skills that you need to have if you want to get into the industry is to know how to communicate. And I want you to take note of the wording here. It's not just communication, it's assertive communication. There's a slight difference here from what we're used to, right? Because if you hear assertive, that sounds so intense. That sounds so, isn't that a bad thing? Doesn't that break harmony? So that's what we're going to explore today. We're going to find
Right,
out.
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off right there. I just want to know if we can resize the window of your presentation so that
Sure,
we
sure.
can maximize the space.
No problem, no problem. Hang on. Let me just reshare it.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Yeah, let's try that one more time. There, how's that?
Let's see if that works. Oops. Let me do that again. Oh, and that's better. Yes, sir. That is so much better. I'll go back on stage now.
All right, thank you for letting me know.
No problem.
All right, so again, assertive communication. That's actually one example of assertive communication. Thank you very much, Sir Oliver. So yeah, we're going to talk about how it's actually useful, even though it sounds so intense. So again, why do we want to learn this? Well, when you know how to communicate assertively, there are a few benefits. So one example of a benefit, if you know how to assertively communicate, is to minimize conflict. That's so weird, right? You're communicating assertively, and yet you're minimizing conflict. How does that even work? Uh, there's a thing with conflict, like conflict pops up either in the obvious manner, the ones where you actually clash. But conflict can also occur, conflict that's hidden, right? What do I mean by that? For example, maybe you're in a group and you have certain ideas that you want to share, and then your group mate is keeps hugging the spotlight, and they keep guiding the team, and you don't get the chance to actually share your idea. There might be feelings of resentment that build up between the two of you. That's not an overt conflict, but still conflict nonetheless. If you know how to assertively communicate, then that can be minimized because as long as you're able to express your own opinion, then usually issues like that get minimized. So that's how assertive communication can help you minimize conflict within the group. Of course, that flows into the next point. If you minimize conflict, if you're able to express yourself and you do it in an assertive manner, you can actually control anger. Again, how does that work? You actually don't have any reason to get angry if you're able to share your opinion, if you feel heard. So that's one other benefit that you can get if you know how to communicate assertively. Building from that, if you know how to talk to people, if you know how to let them know that you have these certain needs, then you have a better chance of getting those needs met. If you actually know how to speak up and tell them that, hey, we need you to resize your screen just like a while ago, then the need is better met because they spoke up. And building on from that, because that can snowball, it actually leads to more positive relationships with friends, family, and others. Because when you can assertively communicate, when you can express yourself, it builds a certain openness between you and the people that are within your relationships. So that helps you not just in your personal life, but also in your professional life. Because if you can speak up, again, you're able to minimize conflict, you control anger, you can tell them what you need, and you can have a better working relationship with the people around you. One example of a benefit, again, of assertive communication comes from a study from from a psychologist. Her name is Vivian Dutton. And basically, her point is that people who are assertive experience less anxiety. So why is that? If you think about it, if you're able to actually share what's in your mind or how you feel or your thoughts on certain things, you have less reason to feel anxious about things because you keep fewer or you keep less things to yourself. If you can't express your ideas, if you can't express your thoughts, you tend to just bottle them up. When it's bottled up like that could build up and become anxiety, and that can make you even more that can make it even more difficult for you to communicate. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to learn how to communicate in an assertive manner so that we can actually express what we think, what we want, and what we need. So how do we do that? In the course of the presentation today, we're going to first look at the definition for assertive communication, just so we know exactly what we're talking about. And then we're going to talk about 3 C's of assertive communication. So basically, these are some of the traits of assertive communication that you have to be mindful of. So if you find these, then you'll know that you're performing assertive communication. And of course, we have to talk about why is it so difficult to be assertive. So we're going to talk about some barriers to assertiveness. And of course, we're not just going to end there and just say that it's too difficult. We're going to figure out a way to develop our own assertive communication style so that we can overcome some of these barriers and by the end, hopefully, we can start practicing assertive communication. So, let's start. First off, when we say assertive communication, this is what I mean. Basically, it's a form of communication where you can express your own feelings and personal needs. The key point in this definition right here is the word direct. That means you don't need to beat around the bush. You don't need to circle around. You don't need to try to cover it with flowery words. But you're able to express what you need directly. Another keynote there is being direct or straightforward does not necessarily mean you have to be rude. Maybe maybe you're working with friends or colleagues for a project. You don't have to tell them directly that I think my way is better, so let's not do that. There's still a certain level of respect that you need to be able to give. The thing also with assertive communication is with us in our culture, it's usually what we actually do is put the needs of others before our own. So it can get a little difficult when you want to express yourself. So we know that assertive communication is hard. Going from that assertive communication is hard, let's use that to remember a few points about assertive communication. So we know we have to be direct, we have to be respectful. We know assertive communication is hard, and let's just like twist that hard definition a little bit. Now, when we say assertive communication is hard, why don't we just say assertive communication is honest? When we say it's honest, we're talking about sincerity. When you communicate, you have to be able to actually express what's on your mind or how you're feeling, but it has to be real. If it's not real, it might not sound well. It won't sound so genuine, and it might come off as you just attacking the other person. So make sure that when you communicate in an assertive manner, it's honest, it's true, it's real, it's genuine. Another thing, when we perform or when you communicate assertively, it has to be appropriate. Appropriate in what sense? When you communicate, it has to be within a certain context. What do we mean by this? For example, let's say you, or let's say we're in an event right now. We're in a professional conference. Now you have certain feelings, you have certain needs, and definitely it's within your right to express them. You can probably say, "Hey, I'm too sleepy. I'm tired. I want to go home." Now, that's assertive. That's being assertive. However, it's inappropriate because of the context. So we can be assertive. We can talk about our needs. We can express our thoughts and opinions, but we also have to always make sure that it fits the context that we're in. So we know so far that assertive communication is honest. We know assertive communication is or should be in an appropriate context. What else? Assertive communication should be respectful. That's one of the key points in the definition. There has to be certain respect when you're expressing yourself assertively. You can tell what you want, you can tell what you need, but you have to still remember that whether that person you're talking to is someone who has authority over you, or if it's someone who's at your same or at your level, everyone deserves to be respected. So when we make our comments about our needs, about our thoughts, about how we want things to go, there has to be a certain degree of respect. And lastly, when we communicate assertively, it should be direct. Again, one of the main points of the definition. You don't want to use flowery words. You don't want to confuse the people you're talking to. You want to be able to express what you want to say and say it so that they understand it. Because if we do these things, if we communicate in an assertive manner, we're honest, we talk in an appropriate context, we're respectful towards what we're talking to, and we are direct to the point, then we can create messages that people will understand, and people won't take against you, or people won't take they won't take it as criticism or as an attack against them. because that's what we want to avoid when you speak assertively. Another way to think about assertive communication is through its three characteristics called its three C's. So in assertive communication, it has to be, for C is clear. This is related to being direct. So again, we want to emphasize that when we communicate, it has to be understandable. And the best way to be understandable is to be direct, not beat around the bush. Be clear, be certain about what you want. For example, let's go back to that project perhaps. Let's say you need to create a paper about I don't know, communication. Let's say you want to create a paper about communication and it's group work. And you don't like the resources that your teammates are using. If you're gonna give a comment about the resources not being appropriate, you can't just say that this does not look reliable, because that's not clear. Like, what about it is not reliable? So you have to go a few steps further. What makes it not reliable? Perhaps the source of perhaps the website is not reliable. Perhaps the person we're citing is not someone who has authority over the subject. So you have to be able to, well, tell exactly what the issue is, and that's important with clarity. That's important with them being able to understand that you're not just criticizing them, you are raising an actual concern. That's the first C of assertive communication. Another C for assertive communication is consistency, or being consistent. When you communicate, when you share your thoughts, you have to be able to back them up, and you have to be able to make a certain stand. For example, if you truly believe that YouTube videos don't feel like an appropriate resource for your research paper, then you have to be able to show that through your actions and throughout the communication process. I'm not saying that you can't change your mind. You can, but it's important that your thoughts, your opinions are consistent, because that way they'll know that that's how you really feel. Like from the start, this is the kind of thought process that this person has. Okay, another C for assertive communication is being courteous, or courtesy. Again, I'm reiterating the importance of respect here. You don't want you definitely want to share what you have to say. You definitely want to share what you have on your mind, but it's important that you don't do so at the expense of others. Even if you think that, let's say, that the other idea might not work, you have to be able to at least first acknowledge that idea, and then be able to pinpoint which parts of that idea seems to be problematic, and then that's when you can maybe chime in with your own idea. Always make sure that when you are also raising issues with when you're collaborating and you're raising concerns about the other's outputs or ideas, you have to also be clear that you are talking about the work and not the person. So if we do that, we're able to communicate assertively. We're able to give a clear, consistent, and courteous message. Okay, sounds so easy, right? Perhaps I make it sound so easy to just do it, but we know that in real life, it isn't. There are many different factors that might make this difficult. And so, I want to acknowledge those things that make it difficult. There will be barriers to you being assertive, and we're going to explore them. And as we explore them, we're going to discuss why it makes assertive communication difficult. First barrier: we're afraid of conflict. We don't want to have people mad at us. Definitely, I don't want my boss to get mad at me. I don't want to get my colleagues mad at me, or maybe my teammates or thesis mates, because it makes the working environment awkward. But see, that's the thing. If you fail to become assertive, as I said before, you might be avoiding overt types of conflict, those conflicts that you can see or hear, the shouting matches, but you might be indirectly creating conflict that's hidden. And because of your fear of overt conflict, you might be creating hidden conflict. So that's the problem here. So just remember that to overcome this, being assertive does not mean you have to be aggressive. Being assertive just means that you have something to say and you want to be heard. You also acknowledge that your teammates, your colleagues want to be heard. So the key really is to give them the respect that they're due and to be able to articulate yourself in a clear manner. So that's one barrier, fear of conflict. But again, it's going to happen if you dance around the issues. So it's best to like tackle the issue head on in a respectful manner. Another barrier to assertiveness is probably perceived lack of skills, or maybe some believe that I don't really know how to communicate assertively. Like I'm not used to it. It's not part of how I was raised, and that's definitely a valid point. It's not easy to learn how to speak up or to share what you want to say. And the thing here, or the key here, is to do things little by little. You don't have to make a grand gesture and just blurt out how you feel one day. You can do it in small things. Perhaps just by being able to say no to certain requests that you feel are really beyond what you should be doing. So the key to lack of skills is practice. And to be able to practice, you have to be able to do it on lower stake situations. Okay, another barrier to being assertive is low self-esteem. Maybe you feel like I'm not that good, I'm not that smart, so why should I bother like raising my opinion? But see, again, um, your opinion matters, your thoughts matter. Um, you you have to believe in what you study, you have to believe in your own expertise, and you have to believe in your own skills. Perhaps one good way to like overcome this is to maybe first, before communicating assertively, perhaps maybe work a little bit on your skill set so that you can feel a little bit more confident in what you have to say. So working on self-esteem, again, practice, do it little by little, build up your skills, build up whatever it is that you feel like you're lacking, and then do it on lower stake situations, and eventually you'll be able to do it on a higher stakes scenario. What's another barrier to being assertive? And this one's the very difficult one. It's cultural or social norms. It's very difficult to dance around this. If we're raised in a certain way, if our environment basically tells us you can't do this or you can't do that, you're not allowed to speak up, you're not allowed to talk back to these people, then yeah, you really won't have any chance to become assertive in that situation, right? So this one, you have to be able to pick your battles. By that I mean you have to be able to know when you can assert yourself and when you could probably just let things go. You don't need to be combative in every argument or in every situation. Let's say your family does not want you to do this by this age. Um, you can't win all battles. So, as with all of my previous suggestions, you start small. It doesn't have to be big, but you start little by little, and that will make ripples, that will make changes. Another barrier for you to become assertive are emotional triggers. Sometimes, perhaps when we share or when we try to talk about our feelings, we might like trigger trauma, or we might recall things that would make us unable to speak up. So here, the best way is to really reflect on yourself, to be able to identify when you feel these things. And once you're able to identify when you feel these things, you'll be able to be more prepared when they happen. Another barrier, obviously, is getting resistance from others. So when you share your feelings, when you share your thoughts, other people also have thoughts. They might have thoughts that differ from yours. And that's okay. The key here is to remember that it's okay for them to do that. What you should focus on is their message. What exactly did they say? What was their argument against what I was saying? Does it have a point? Because maybe they do have a point, and it's a chance for you to learn from what they're saying. When you're assertive in your communication, you don't have to actually win anything. You don't have to like be the correct one. Just being assertive means you're able to express yourself, and whether that's on what you just said. So those are some examples of common barriers to assertiveness. It generally boils down to us not being used to or trying to avoid um, negative reactions from people. But the best way to overcome them is through practice. Let's do it little by little. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to talk about how you can actually develop your own assertive communication style. So, how does that look? You can practice using I statements. This is more of a reflection activity for you. Because to be able to express what you have in your heart, in your mind, you have to know what exactly it is that you feel or what you think. So, a simple example of using an I statement is being able to say, I feel blank, whatever that emotion is, when blank happens. Just practice filling in that. Just when you, and at the end of the day, just think about, I felt this way when this happened to me. It's one way for you to get in touch with how you feel, and it's one way for you to be able to practice articulating that feeling or that thought. Another way to develop being an assertive communicator is to stick to the facts. Again, we focus on what the message is. You focus on what you want to say. Um, if it's an issue with, let's say the their work isn't very good, or the seems to be all over the place, you have to stick to the facts. You have to point out like which parts of the writing is not up to par, which parts of the writing are not good. Because if you stick to the facts, that allows you to avoid attacking the other person. You're only talking about what it is that you are actually talking about. You focus on the facts. If you do that, then it gets easier to be assertive. And they'll feel, or the person you're talking to will feel like you're not attacking them. Another example or another thing to be aware of is your body language. Um, this takes self-reflection. This takes self-awareness. When you say something, you have to know how you look, because sometimes the way you say it, your tone of voice, your actions, that might you might be saying something which your nonverbal communication is actually saying something else. So make sure that when you communicate something through words, you're aware of your tone, you're aware of what your body is doing. That way, you avoid misunderstandings. And then this is a very important skill, especially nowadays, for even for those who, for you who haven't graduated or who's just graduating, for anyone who's already in the workforce, we have to learn how to say no. How do we do that? That's very difficult, but it comes with you understanding who you are and what your responsibilities are. It also comes with you accepting that you can't do everything, you can't please everyone, so boundaries have to be established. If you can do this, that's one step in being assertive. So make sure that you know what your boundaries are. And in doing so, if it crosses or if requests cross the boundary, just learn to say no. This one's important when you're talking to someone. As I said, related to your body language. When you express whatever it is that you want to express, you want to keep a calm tone. You don't want to give them the idea that you're mad at them or that you're angry, because that's the thing that will actually lead to conflict. Okay, so that's how we build our our communication style, our assertive communication style. If you're going to get something out of this talk, I want you to remember that like this quote, like being assertive does not mean you're attacking or ignoring others' feelings, right? Assertive or being assertive is not aggression. It just means that you're willing to hold up for yourself fairly without attacking others. Or basically, you're just invoking your right to express yourself and express your ideas. And there's nothing wrong with that. So that would be it for my talk. Once again, I'm Eric from VXI Global. You can visit our site here at jobs180.com/VXI for job postings, or you can walk into one of our recruitment centers listed here. Best if you also use ResumeLink. Jobs180 uses that so that we can easily see uh, what your credentials are when you apply. So yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome, Sir Eric. That's a very challenging topic and you've delivered it flawlessly. Thank you so much for your time today. Now, guys, those who are on the screen, kindly go to the comment section and post your questions below. So we still have Sir Eric on our stage, and I will be starting a few questions. Sir Eric, this is a pretty challenging topic to tackle, and it's been a it definitely is. I was trainer before, and it is one of the topics that's really is a challenge to convey to the others, especially here in the culture in the Philippines, right? So assertiveness really is an essential skill. And do you have a story to tell us, or do you have a story to share with us where you've been in a situation where it begs for you to be aggressive, but you came out as assertive and effectively communicated your stand either way? So how do you manage it if there's something that you can share?
Yeah, that definitely comes up a lot, especially when you're working, right? As as you read before, I worked as an educator. I also worked as an instructional designer. I think this came up. The immediate thought that came to mind was when I was working on creating instructional materials. When you create
Right.
materials, that's there's plenty of room for like, no, do this. This one's better. This one's how we want to do it. So so that can be a bit tricky. So how do we navigate that? Obviously, you have to be able to keep your feelings in check. You have to know that, yeah, I really don't think. Well, maybe at the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, yeah, that kind of questioning doesn't work for that kind of objectives. But you don't say that out loud. You have to be able to internalize that for a bit, and then you have to think about, why do I not like that suggestion? So, for example, they wanted to do like a straight fill in the blanks type of test for. I remember they wanted to do a scenario type of activity. But yeah, they wanted to do fill in the blanks. But I was thinking, why would they not want to do fill in the blanks for something that requires them to show skills? So I thought about it, and I expressed, well, basically I told them, the main point of what we're doing is to have the students know when to use these laws, or know when to use these, yeah, because it's related to to like laws or RAs. So we don't want them to just memorize that, right? Wouldn't it
Right.
be better if wouldn't it be better if we could give scenarios where that law applies, so that it's more so that it's easier to remember. So you really have to be calm. Like, I had to like compose myself for a minute or two there before I came up with something like that, to just convey what exactly it is that I wanted to say. Now, I didn't get my suggestion totally accepted, but part of it was got into
Right.
the learning material. So you also have to learn how to compromise, right? Like I said before, you have to pick your battles too. So you're not going to like go come out full swing and expect to win everything.
Right. Exactly, exactly. And those who are listening right now, guys, an instructional material is something that we do for trainers, that they have a reference for it, right? And that that's what they use to deliver the training. Okay,
Yeah,
and it
think of
really is
your
a
modules,
challenging.
I think, right? Something
Right,
like that.
exactly, exactly. Like emotional, and it's a challenging task to have. Right. So it really is important to know the battles that you want to fight, and to also know and to ask the whys. Now, why are they pointing this out, and open yourself into their views as well. And I think that's really part of being assertive. And you know what? Those are the things that are really important skill that all of us, I think, really needs to develop on, especially in this, in the rise of the remote work. Do you have any, anything that you can share with us? How can individuals adapt their communication style effectively to convey messages in a virtual environments and still maintain a strong connection with the colleagues?
Yeah, that's actually one of the very difficult. That's one of the difficult things, especially when you're working with people who are far away. Like one of our,
Right.
like, for example, in our current work, we actually work with people from Davao, right? So that's very very far. So the important thing here is that you are able to like keep that connection. So that depends on how you're connected. For example, and for us for our team, we use MS Teams, right? So you just try to give updates. You have a group chat there. You give updates. You ask them for help. That's one good way to start conversations to for you to collaborate. You ask them for help. You ask for their thoughts, and things just follow from there. Um, I think that's one of the key things that I learned when working with people who are far away from me is that you have to be
Right.
able to come up with ways for you to discuss things. One way you can do that maybe is through like raise points, ask them if
Right.
they're good with this, or um, the meetings also help. Like if there are meetings, just try to say hi sometimes. I mean, you can show yourself through just simple turning on your camera. It kind of goes a long way too. So combination of little things and thought out big things like being willing to open yourself for yeah I have this idea, what do you think? So it's like opening yourself up to get attacked right or to
Right.
get criticized, but that's but not really attacked, but to opening yourself up for criticism really like helps collaboration because they see that you can do it, and then some of them feel like yeah maybe I should do it too. So it's a
Right.
good exercise.
Right, right. And others would follow if they see that, if they see you as an accepting person or a listening person, they would also listen to you. And I guess it goes a long way, right? And then I think that's one of the steps for being assertive, demonstrate that so that others would follow as well. Right. And it really is this is really a good topic. And we hope that we can see you in more topics as well in the future and other, other webinars like this, Sir Eric. So for now, we want to thank you, sir, for your time today. It really is a valuable thing that you have shared with our audience right now. So we hope that we can see you in more seminars and that we can discuss more of these things with our students, graduating students. So again, once again, Sir Eric, thank you so much, guys. Give Sir Eric a heart or a thumbs up for what, if you really like what he has shared with us. And yeah, don't forget to visit the VXI's career site and go look for your next opportunity there. Thank you so much, Sir Eric. You have a wonderful afternoon ahead of you. Okay,
Thank you,
guys.
Oliver.
So
You
we
have a
are
wonderful
now.
day. Bye.
Thank you, sir. And now, guys, thank you so much for staying this far. And of course, I want you guys to know that this has been a very wonderful topics. And I want to go back to the resume link. With all of the things that we have discussed today, we talked about assertive communication, we talked about problem solving and decision making, as well as the top skills employers are looking for when hiring. But yeah, during our first session, we talked about the resume link. And I want to call on our speaker in the first topic, Sir Kim, to come up on stage so that we can, say hi and hello to our dear students. And also, hello, Sir Kim. Right.
Hi, hi.
All right.
Sorry, I was also in another event, so ano lang, multitasking. Hi guys, if you might have
Definitely.
question, mga
Definitely.
Polinians.
Perfect, perfect. Right, guys, if you have any questions, the comment section is open for you to post your questions and to give us more clarity of the in the topic about resume link and using it for job applications. Sir Kim, there are really some effective strategies for identifying and targeting potential opportunities. So, how can job seekers maximize the effective strategies in identifying the target potential job opportunities for their chances of success?
Okay. I think the best way to do it is to do the research. They have to find out the things that the companies are looking for. So don't just keep on applying and submitting. I know this is a numbers game. The more you
Right.
submit, the more chances you that you win, di ba? The more chances you get to have an interview, and of course, the higher chances that you get hired. But in terms of parang ano yan eh, when you pre-qualify, when you try to probe, you will not be wasting your time and effort. You want to focus your energy. Even if let's say I'll put a good sample You apply to 100 companies versus you apply to 10 na talagang ni probe mo, and the chances of you being pass in the 10 companies, let's say you have 90% fit, there's a fit in the qualification, compared to say applying to 100 companies na bahala na si Batman kung ako'y tatawagan ba or hindi. I think that the 10 companies you will still have a better chance of being hired
Right.
kasi you did your research. So I think that's
Exactly.
what the answer.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Kim. And research would really take you a long way. And I guess that's also one of the common mistakes job seekers would do. But do you think, sir, maybe meron pang ibang common mistakes na job seekers should avoid when trying to use the resume link and applying in the jobs?
The most common mistake is falsifying your information. That is something I do not recommend. Do not pretend to be someone, or do not try to uh preempt uh, what will happen to you, 'di ba? Until nangyari na siya. I'm saying like example, you're about to graduate and you think that you will graduate with honors. Sample lang. No, so nilagay mo diyan, graduate as a cum laude. Yun. So, inassume mo lang, no? Kasi, kala mo, okay na, all good na. Tapos, biglang nag-apply ka na, yun ang sinabi mo, cum laude. Tapos, biglang, shock, hindi pala. Nadulas pala si cum
Oh.
laude.
All right. I guess Sir Kim is having
Di
some
ba?
technical issues on his end.
Yun yung example ko. And then, yung worst scenario,
Oh. Sir Kim, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it appears that your internet connection is not that good.
negative, no, sa Asian.
Right. Maybe I could summarize what Sir Kim is trying to say. Hello, Sir Kim. All right. I guess I may have to play Sir Kim in the background in the meantime. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I may have to cut Sir Kim off in a bit. But what he's trying to say is that make sure that the information that you put in the resume link are true and that you can stand on it. All right. It's kind of hard to stand on something that's not existing. So make sure that everything that you put in your resume link is truthful and that you can stand on it and you can defend on it in your interview. And I want to thank Sir Kim for his time that he has given in today's session, despite all of his busy schedule. So he's trying to his best to make sure that he is here with us and, of course, give his insights in using the resume link. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for staying today in our program. And I'd like you guys to know that we are now about to end this seminar. And it's always good to visit this recording in our Facebook and YouTube accounts. So for our closing ceremonies, I'd like to thank the speakers for their time and the knowledge and experience that they have shared to the next generation of candidates. And of course, I want to introduce to you the guidance counselor of SPU Manila, Ms. Maria Cecilia G. Antonio, registered guidance counselor, to speak with us the closing remarks. Miss Cecilia? Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Hello,
you.
good afternoon.
Good. Yes.
Okay.
You
Thank
may
you, Sir
now take.
Oliver.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Oliver. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So may I remind you that all Polinian graduating students have to answer the evaluation form. It will be open until tomorrow at 9 a.m. I understand that some of you will be viewing this tonight. This will mark your attendance and your insights from today's webinar. So it should be posted in the FB comment section later on at the FB section at the FB of Jobs 180, and also should be posted at our own official FB of St. Paul University, Manila. Another important reminder to all graduating students that the Jobs 180 link is a requirement. So before we sign your clearance for this school year, before you graduate, we have to check your link to see if it's good and professional. So make sure that you do that as soon as possible. And to close our webinar, I would like to, on behalf of our unit, the Guidance and Counseling and Placement Services, headed by Mr. AJ Agoho, our head, and the St. Paul University, Manila, headed by our university president, Sister Evangeline Anastasia, SPC, who would like to give our big thanks to Mr. Kim Chua, the managing director of Jobs 180. We really appreciate you partnering with us and helping our students. We would also like to extend our gratitude to our speakers and the industry experts, who are Ms. Mariel Palomares, Ms. Jade Oliveros, Ms. Eric Domantay. Thank you very much for sharing your insights with our students. Parting words to our graduating Polinians is to always go back to the values that you have learned in school, the skills that you have honed as Polinians. That would be your edge as employees in the future and as job handlers as you interact and work with others, and to be Polinian professionals in the future. That's all po. Salamat po.
Thank you so much, Miss Cecil. And we want to thank SPU again for having us as well as our dear partner in this event. Now, I'd like to get thank you po. So I'd like to spend this the next coming minutes to share with our students again the link for our evaluation. Again, if the link didn't work, make sure that you screenshot it as proof of your attendance with the date and the time today. If you have any concerns, just reach out to your guidance office. Now, the recordings of this webinar will be posted in jobs180.com's Facebook and YouTube channel. And if ever you need any further information, please make sure to follow your school's Facebook pages for webinars and other announcements regarding career and placement services. You can also visit your school's career portal and to make sure that you have the latest resume link. And please watch out for the next set of webinars hosted by jobs180.com this week. Check out our Facebook page at jobs180.com and for the topics that will be discussed, and you're welcome to join in on those sessions too. With this, I'd like to end this program with our closing prayer, which is going to be a video. And with that, we will end this session today. I want to thank you guys so much for staying, and you have a great week ahead of you guys. See you around, and may God bless us all. Bye for now.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, Amen. The Paulinian Gleaner's Prayer. God, our loving Father, through your Holy Spirit, enable us to participate in Jesus' saving mission, to make you known and loved throughout the world. May we joyfully live out our Paulinian identity as gleaners who are prayerful, mindful of who we truly are and why we are here, your children called to follow your holy will, self-effacing, quick to transcend when we are not recognized for the good we have done or when we are taken for granted, with tranquil daring, to proceed when we feel that the work and responsibilities given us are backbreaking and beyond our capacity, and all to all, willing to faithfully serve everyone, especially the least, the last, and the lost. Our Lady of Chartres, pray for us. Saint Paul the Apostle, our patron, pray for us. Father Louis Chauvet and our first sisters, intercede for us. Caritas Christi urget nos. now and forever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good morning, students. I am Vixie, the automated recruitment assistant of VXI, and I am here to answer your questions about our company. Hi, I have a question. Does VXI accept fresh graduates? Definitely. We accept fresh graduates, and you can apply via walk-in process at all our recruitment hubs. Jumpstart your career with us here at VXI. Is it really true that it is a one-day processing before you get hired? Absolutely. Here at VXI, you can get hired within the same day. Perks, benefits, and a great working environment await you here. We have decided that all of us will be applying tomorrow at VXI. See you there, Vixie!
In Makati Medical Center, your well-being does not stop. We promote a healthy normal by complying with 100% safety protocols in our facilities. With world-class service and operational excellence, we ensure that Makati Med meets the global healthcare standards of JCI. No matter the nature of your visit, your health is our priority. So you are always safe in Makati Med, the hospital with a heart.
Intelligence is the foundation of any good business. But if every good business has it, how do you stand out? Intuition. When enabled by technology, intuition stops feeling like a hunch and starts looking like confidence. The confidence you get when you work with Cognizant, where we engineer every aspect of your business, technology, processes, and experiences to anticipate expectations and act instantly. This is intuition, and we can engineer it.
At a time when customers are demanding more value more rapidly, you need a transformation partner that can help make your customer experience your competitive differentiator. For years, RRD Go has been helping companies reinvent how they do business and reimagine how customers connect with their brand. Our customized solutions, deep industry expertise, and highly skilled global talent pool empower clients across every industry. We elevate customer engagement with targeted, interactive, and compelling omni-channel communications, and leverage tech-driven solutions to reimagine customer interactions and accelerate your transformation agenda. Our digital and workflow solutions generate actionable insights, enhance organizational flexibility, and simplify transactions. We harness the power of next-level technologies to bring new solutions to life. Everything from automation and data visualization to AI, AR, and beyond. By combining best-in-class, forward-looking technologies with some of the industry's best forward-thinking minds, we can help take your customer experience beyond what you thought was possible. Discover how. Visit rrd.com/go today.
I felt that my work before didn't give me the continuous learning and career growth I was looking for. Hi, I'm Isa. I am the Clinical Training and Quality Lead for Care Innovation Operations. I am also a nurse by profession, licensed in the state of New York.
Hi, I'm Rosro. I was a Philippine registered nurse when I joined Accenture. I signed up for the USRN Build program where I was able to get my US nursing license. I now handle a group of USRNs for a US health insurance client.
Hi, I'm Rosh. I'm a service delivery lead in health and a global process owner for provider operations, leading a team across Manila, Ilocos, and Chennai.
I felt that my work before didn't give me the continuous learning and career growth I was looking for. So, I joined Accenture as a US registered nurse. Now, I am a clinical training and quality manager. As a nurse, we review patients' medical records to make sure that services are medically necessary.
Our team caters to North America's leading healthcare payers, providers like doctors and nurses, and non-traditional health organizations. We help our clients meet the essential expectations that every person has of the healthcare system: access, experience, and outcomes. We have a strong learning and development capability for our talents. The opportunity to learn and develop new skills is not limited to your specific function or role.
I've learned different skills in leadership, business acumen, technology like robotic process automations, and artificial intelligence, which gave me the advantage in managing the various clinical teams for delivery and quality.
The USRN Build program is an Accenture initiative wherein the company provides opportunities for Philippine registered nurses to become US registered nurses. Accenture shoulders all of the expenses starting from the review center, processing of all of your documents on your behalf, and all the way down to taking the USRN licensure exam. All you have to do is just focus on the review and pass the test.
As a first-time mom of a 1-year-old boy, Accenture gave me the opportunity to work with flexibility, which allows me to spend more time with my son, while at the same time, feel more connected with my team all over the world.
Future Ready is being able to get ahead of the curve. For the last 17 years, I have seen the healthcare industry continue to evolve and adapt to change. The pandemic has accelerated the shift to digital, opening the untapped potential in deploying AI and robotic process automation, all with a goal to be future ready. With Accenture as their partner, our insights and value-driven culture will help our clients deliver their promise of care to their customers.